So now that we've created a single content template for our video player, I think our next logical step is to actually create many different videos and then just to create a playlist as you see on the Dash Media Player website. The very first thing that we're going to do here is actually create some more videos, and we can do that by going to create content, and let's just click on video. And then I'm just going to select a new video. We'll do Journey to the Center of the Earth. So I'm going to click on that, press upload, make sure it uploads. I'm going to click browse, do another one, Journey to the Center of the Earth, upload, give it a title, which luckily I've already got it cached. And then when I'm done doing that, I go down and press save. Cool thing about templates is it should automatically go ahead and show up for me, which is really cool, I think. So now we have two different videos in our system. Let's say we want to set up a playlist to show all of our videos in the system, much like how the Dash Media Player does on the home page, as shown right here. So let's go ahead and get that done. The first thing we're going to need to do is set up a view that will actually show these videos in a view or a playlist scenario. You're going to click on the Administer button here, and then click on the Views button. So that is Administer. You go over to the right, Views. The first thing we're going to need to do is add a new view. So you're going to click on the Add button. We're going to call this video name Videos. The view description is a list of all videos. You can tell I've done this before because everything is being cached. And also on the view type, you're going to make sure that the node is checked and then just hit Next. Now this is going to bring up the user interface for the views. For anybody who's very new to views, this might be very intimidating just because you're presented with so many different options and you really don't know where to begin. The very first thing that I always start with is over here on the very far right, which is the filters section. Here you basically need to tell yourself, what content do I want to show in my playlist? Well, the answer to that question for us is just videos. We want to show videos. So we need to make sure we filter all of our content that only have a node type of video. So we add that filter by clicking on the plus sign next to filters. Then we're going to scroll down and you're going to see that it popped open this other little page right here of all these filters that we can provide. We're going to filter these groups by just clicking on this groups drop down and selecting node. From here, the first thing I always like to do is click on this node type. This is going to allow us to show videos and all the other types of nodes in our system, but for us it's just going to be the videos. Another thing that I also like to check is this node published. This is to make sure that we don't show any videos that are not published on our website. So if you have a video that's not appropriate for your website, you can always unpublish it and it will automatically remove it from the playlist. So once we have those two selected, we're going to hit Add. On this Publish, we want to make sure we select Yes and click the Update button. Now for the node type, we want to make sure that we select videos. So the operator needs to be is one of, and then for the node type, we're just going to check the video and hit Update. So there we go. We've set up our filters. And then what I normally do is I add a field, usually just a single field, just so that this guy right here doesn't complain anymore. I don't know. I don't like seeing red on the screen, so I always like to try to get rid of it. So on the fields, let's go ahead and click on the plus button next to it. And then in here, we're going to select node, and we just want to show the title. And we're going to select add. And I know this brings up a lot of stuff, but we're just going to click update. The reason why I'm just nonchalant about it is because the Dash Media Player doesn't really use this field at all. This is really if you want to have an HTML view of the view to show to your users. But since our playlist is querying the view, this field doesn't really come into play. What's the most important is the filters. Whenever we're done doing this, it's very, very important that we hit the save button. This also is a big gotcha. A lot of people set all these things up and then they go over here and navigate somewhere, forget to save it, and find out that their view doesn't work. So make sure you save. Okay, so now that we have that saved, I think we're ready to add the playlist. So the very first thing we're going to do is go over to create content. and then we're going to create a page. Now what a page is, it's just a single HTML page on your website. This is how you would show a video with the playlist to your users. You would actually take them to a different page than the actual video node, and that just queries and shows all the videos to the users. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do playlist. We're going to call it dash media player playlist. Now I'm going to zoom in here so you guys can really see this really big, because the PHP can kind of be a little tricky. So in the body we're going to create some more PHP, which again is less than question mark PHP. Let me zoom in a little further. And then here we're going to provide a new params, bracket, single quote, and the new param that we're going to pass to the player is called playlist, single quote, close bracket, and we're going to set that equal to the view that we just created. Well, that view name was called videos. That was the name that we first gave it whenever we added it. Make sure you add a semicolon, that's real important. Press enter, and now let's just print the player. Print space dash player underscore get underscore player. Open parentheses, and then pass the params to that function. Make sure you add a semicolon, enter question mark greater than, and then we're done doing that. So let me zoom out a little bit so we can see our page a little bit better. So now that we've added that block, another real important thing is when you're adding the body of any page, you need to make sure that it has PHP. You need to make sure that you check in the input format this PHP code. Otherwise, it won't parse out this as PHP, it'll just print it. We want it to actually execute it. So let's make sure we check the PHP code, and then when you're done, you go down and press save. And as you can see, it added the playlist with both videos. So now we have the media player that shows both Kung Fu Panda and Journey of the Center of the Earth, and also has voting capabilities. Very cool.